watch that fucking video, like the fucking video, and I will make more money. So I don't know what Pedro is doing with his money, but I'm trying to learn about money, to invest fucking money. So if you want to help me, moneymoicano.com, Money Moicano channel. If you're not, fuck you.
Talk to Ali, he's my manager, he's his manager. He said the guy never lost a round, even in training.
Buddy, good to see you. What's going on, man?
How you doing,
Good.
Renato? Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to the Home of Fight YouTube channel, everyone. Today I am here with two very, very special guests, Gilbert Burns and Money Moicano. Fellas, how we doing?
First him.
We're doing good. We're great.
More ranking fight. He's ranking. He's ranked higher than me. Fighting this week. You have to start, brother.
So I'm good, looking good. Like fight week, excited to be here. You know, we're fighting here in Miami. I don't need to travel, I don't need to go anywhere. So super excited. Weight's good, feeling good. So yeah, looking forward to talk about fighting.
Oh yeah, bro. I went to the Miami card last year, and I was like, I have to go to this one. I don't know when the next Miami card ever is going to be. And the fights on that card were incredible. I was like, I can't miss this. And then fast forward to next year, and like this card is honestly better. It's even better, and I think it's even better than UFC 300, honestly. What are your thoughts on this weekend's card?
Crazy card. Do you remember when Dana White said every fight of the card could be the main event? I think 299 is just like that. I'm very excited to watch UFC 299. There is a couple of fights that I want to watch really bad, like Jailton Almeida. I think people are not talking about enough that fight. Jailton Almeida and Curtis Blaydes for me is a puzzle. Let's see who's going to be the best grappler, jiu-jitsu, wrestling. So that's one of the fights that I want to see. But UFC 299 overall, I think is even better than 300.
Yeah, so everyone's always told me like the last fight of the prelim is supposed to be the fight that like sells people on buying the pay-per-view, right? And I think that's a great last fight of the prelims is Almeida and Curtis Blaydes, and we'll talk about this fight a little bit later, but Almeida was a much bigger favorite going into this fight, and then when he wasn't able to finish Derek Lewis, now odds makers have this as like a coin toss type of fight, and I'm actually really excited for that one, but we'll dive into it here. Before we talk about UFC 299, what is your thoughts? I'm going to start with Moicano here. What is your thoughts on this past weekend's card and the main event? Shamil Gaziev versus Jairzinho Rozenstruik.
Be honest.
I will be honest. Was a terrible main event and co-main event, and I don't want to disrespect anybody that works like with the fights and the UFC, but in my opinion, to put a guy like Gaziev was a mistake. And you can ask me why. I know everybody's talking about renovation, like put new people on the heavyweight, but Gaziev was untested. And that's what happened when you put a guy with one fight to fight in a main event. Because even though it's Apex, even though it's a small card fight night, there is a lot of pressure being in a main event UFC. I know because I was there. I have had a line before and I felt the pressure. And I was like 10 fights in UFC. Gilbert is the same. So I think to put a guy like with lack of experience in the UFC main event is terrible because we didn't know him. And to me, I don't want to judge him too much because I'm a fighter, but to me, it looks like he quits, you know? And like as a main event, that's not a good look for UFC. And overall, I didn't like the card, but there is a couple fights that was good, like the Brazilian guy, Urseg guy, like the 125 was great. And Umar Nurmagomedov fight was okay. So overall, was a bad card.
Yeah. I don't think fans had huge expectations for the card. So when the expectations aren't that high, the card still has the ability to perform. And like you said, there was a few good fights on the card. You know, the main event reminded me when Sean Strickland fought Abu Smagomedov. Yes. And Magomedov had like one round early, and then he faded, and Sean Strickland got that second round finish. And it's crazy because I took Strickland round 3, 4, 5 when I was betting on it. And I was praying Magomedov made it to the third round and he couldn't get there. And similar to that in this main event, I had Jairzinho round 2-3 finish. And of course, it gets to the fourth round.
Yeah.
So I lose the bet. It gets to the fourth round. He actually gets through the fourth, but then, the fight gets called going into the fifth. So it was definitely a disappointing main event. But like you said, there was a few good fights on the card. What was your thoughts on, the Tyson Pedro fight, Tyson Pedro versus Vitor Petrino?
I didn't watch those. I watched 2 fights. I watched Umar fight,
Yeah.
and I think it was a great fight. That Kazakhstan kid is very, very good. He got hurt. He was tested. Wrestling was on point. Grappling was on point. Ground and pound was on point. And the guy was answering. That's why I like that fight very much, because the guy was answering everything. Like, he was getting hurt. He was getting taken down. He was put in bad position. He was fighting through it. I like that kid very, very much. And Umar's ability is just out of the charge. I think he's very good, just as his brothers, as Khabib, as Islam, as all the guys. I think he can become a champion very, very easy.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of people taking the fight, because right now everyone is going to run. When the phone call rings your phone and then you see Umar, I'm not feeling good. I think those guys going to try saying that, but that was the only 2 fights that I watched. That was Umar and Mokaev fight.
Well, one guy that was willing to take the fight is Corey Sandhagen.
Yes.
So I want to ask your opinion on this, because odds makers had Corey Sandhagen as an underdog and Umar as a minus 300 favorite. Wow. Who would you take in that matchup?
I think Umar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that good?
I think he's good. I think like he showed on his fight like durability, because he got rocked with the punching. But then I was impressed with his single leg, the way he hold on the single leg, like holding for his life, and then he reversed the position. He got on the top, and grappling wise, wrestling wise, even on jiu-jitsu, these guys, they are beasts. Mm-hmm. I don't know what they are doing, but there is levels to this game, and I don't know what the Nurmagomedov family is doing, but it's completely different than anybody. I don't know if he's wrestling with beers or something like that, but for sure, they have something different on the grappling. And I have trained with a guy in America Top Team. He's from Bellator. His name is Akhmedov or something like that. And he hurt his knee. He hurt his knee. But let me tell you something. He's a Dagestani guy. And the wrestling chain, the way, I don't know, maybe these guys, they are not natural because they strong that these guys have.
Yeah.
Maybe USADA is not knocking Dagestani people doors. Who knows? If I have to guess, USADA is not going to Russia. But I'm joking right here. I don't know what's going on, but they are strong as I never felt. All the Dagestani guys that go to ATT, I see they are different than regular Russian or the wrestling. And I really don't know why. Maybe it's the training method or something. But even Cody Sanhagen being as good as he is, I think Umar would be the favorite for sure. And minus 300 is a good bet, in my opinion.
That's incredible. Well, one thing I noticed about Umar, never lost a round in the UFC or MMA, I think. Yeah.
I talked to Ali. He's my manager. He's his manager. He said the guy never lost a round, even in training. He started losing a couple rounds, but he did just like on the fight. Then he ends up dominating. So
yeah. Well, even with when he got caught in that opening minute, it was impressive how calm he stayed. Yes. He found position and it got the takedown.
You saw
didn't
that punch?
panic at all.
You saw the punch? I didn't see. I had to see it on
the
replay.
No. Yeah, I did see it on replay. It was so quick.
But you didn't see, right?
Yeah.
When we were watching, you saw the overhand that he got rocked.
I remember, but
no, I just saw like, oh my, he got caught with something.
I watched on the replay too.
On the replay, the guy was fast.
Well, he gets called in the opening minute, still wins a 30-27 unanimous decision, which was definitely impressive. Wasn't able to get the finish, but it was still an impressive win for him. Were you able to see the Tyson Pedro Petrino fight?
Yes, I was expecting fireworks, like 2 big guys, 2 strikers, but sometimes that happen, right? We are expecting too much, and they were like,
they were
on the distance,
Francis Ngannou and
Derek exactly.
That's how the first round was. Like, neither guy wanted to commit. They respected each other's power on both sides. And next thing you know, we're into the second round. And then late in the third round, but before all the grappling sequences, like Petrino really started to come forward. It ended up being a decent fight. Obviously we were expected a finish of some sort. And then after the fight, Tyson Pedro retires and says, he basically says to the UFC, like, hey, I'm not making enough money. And I quote, he said, with the tax deductions and the loss of the fight, I'm probably going to have to rob someone in the car parking lot. What is your take on this? Because he's a guy that's had 11 fights in the UFC, 10-5, or I'm sorry, 15 fights.
15
10-5 record, right? I think it was.
He's a guy that people know him like the hardcore fans, right?
Yeah.
But he's not very popular. But I don't know how much money he's making, but I'm pretty sure everybody wants more money. That's the truth. Everybody wants more money. But I think he's talking like that to make a point. To make a point that I think he thinks that he deserves more money. I don't know how much money he made on the fight, but it is what it is. I know a lot of people like to talk about fighters' pay, but they don't like to do shit about fighters' pay. And I come up with a solution. If you want to help on fighters' pay, go to moneymoicano.com and buy some fucking merch. You're gonna help me to make more money. And you can start to say, this fighter don't make enough money. Guess what? I have a YouTube channel. Super chats. Watch the fucking video, like the fucking video, and I will make more money. So I don't know what Tyson Pedro is doing with his money, but I'm trying to learn about money, to invest fucking money. If you know about Bitcoin, it's almost all-time highs this fucking week, and I'm buying for almost 4 years now. So stop to say shit about fighters' pay. Do something about your life, brother. Nobody cares. That's the fucking truth. I wish I could make 10 millions a fight. I don't. So I have to find a way. So if you want to help me, moneymoicano.com, Money Moicano channel. If you're not, fuck you.
I love it. No, you bring up a lot of great points, though, because at the end of the day, fighting in the UFC, you're fighting on one of the biggest platforms there is. And I think as fighters, like, you also have the ability to monetize your personal brand outside of the UFC. So again, there's obviously an argument that fighter pay could be higher, of course. 100%. But at the same token, I think Moicano's point here is you got to do more outside of the UFC to monetize your brand. By
let me tell you something. It's like on life, right? Everybody wants to make more money, but to make more money, you have to produce more money. That's the truth. If UFC is paying you not that much, it's maybe because it's your value. And before I didn't realize that, but now you're a businessman, right? You own a lot of business. You cannot pay $15 an hour to an employee just because you think he needs the money, right? That is a business. They have to make more than you spend with them. And I think UFC is just like that. It's a free market society. You have to adapt. You have to do something different. Why do you think I'm trying to make my brand and to make people remember me? Because I just realized that if you like freedom, if you like the free market society, you have to deal with the consequences. What is the consequence? You're just gonna make the money that you make into the others, if you know what I mean. So I think these people like to talk about that on the internet, but I'm being serious. If you want to help the fighter, try to support him. If you like Tyson Pedro, try to support him. Maybe he's selling something. Maybe he has a business, right? A lot of people like to talk, but a lot of people don't like to do shit.
Even easier than that, if you really support the fighter and you go there and you see, he don't have merch, whatever. But tweet about it, post about the guy, make a story. That's one of my favorite fighters. He's fighting this card. We're gonna support. Like if you're really a fan. And the opposite is true. If you're a fighter and if you're fighting, if you're not making money, you gotta try to make it a different avenues. Okay, I'm gonna do merch. I'm gonna try to get a sponsor. You gotta do a little bit extra. You gotta show up a little bit more. Maybe be on the corner. Maybe people see you. I don't know what you gotta do, but you gotta do more to get more money.
Exactly. And like he's saying, if you don't have money, man, today's commodity is attention. And that's why we are here on the podcast, trying to bring attention, trying to bring the numbers. And if you want to support you and you don't have money, give your attention. Go over there. Click the like button. Doesn't cost anything to you, but gonna help him to build the business, and it is what it is, my brother. Right?
100%. Nailed it. All right, so before we move on to 299, how about the flying knee knockout? We haven't even talked about that from this past weekend. Oliveira, he gets a rare $100,000 bonus. Have you guys seen that before?
I don't think so. I don't remember.
So he got fight of the night and performance bonus. I guess $50K a pop. Have you ever
How
seen
old
that?
are this guy? How old are he?
He's young. I think it was his first fight on the
Can you
UFC.
check?
Yeah, let me check.
Because I think this kid has a lot of potential on UFC. Because he already is his first fight in UFC, 100K. He talk in English after his fight. He was saying like, I'm different, I'm going to do different, I'm going to do that. So I think this kid has what it takes to be on the next level. I guess we're going to find out. Like sometimes we don't know. UFC is too hard. To 28. That's a good age. He's still young. So
Yeah.
I want to see him again on the octagon. He's very good.
Yeah, he's 20-3 in MMA.
20-3.
20-3. So
Great
he's-
card.
Yeah, one thing I will say is he was seconds away from being finished in that second round.
He's 135,
He
right?
was on the ground. Yeah. He
135?
was he was seconds away. I believe 135, right? Yeah, 135. He was seconds
Yeah.
away from being finished on the ground. I think he does have some holes in his game that I think he'll be able to, if he can fix up some of those holes.
more.
Dude, he was just searching for that highlight reel knockout. Like if you watched, late in the second round and then early in the third, before he got it, like you could just tell he wanted it so badly. He was searching for it. But yeah, on the ground he was getting taken down, and he was very close. I mean, I think there's a couple UFC refs that might have even stopped that fight, but he ended up, props to him. He ended up surviving, getting into that third round, and then he had the better gas tank late. So, all right, let's move on to UFC 299. We got so much to cover here. First and foremost, let's start with our very own Gilbert Burns here. I want to ask Moicano, what do you think?
Best underdog of the card for sure. You don't have to ask me again. I did the whole prediction video on my YouTube card. There is no way he is losing to JDM. JDM to me is overhyped. He's good, but I don't know what people see in him. And I know, man, that's kind of the problem is I was on the hype train too. I was saying JDM, but when he fought the Basil guy, Basil Hafez, he took him down on like the first 30 seconds. Imagine if he's Gilbert.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to disrespect Basil, but
He's a big, strong dude, though.
he's a big, strong dude, but what is his record?
Right. I'm not
What
sure.
was his record? I think he was 4-3 or 5-3, something like that. He's not a contender like Gilbert Burns. You have to see the competition. And JDM was showing. That's the problem with the fight. We are talking about fights in the past, like 2 fights ago. He could evolve, but he didn't show up on Kevin Holland fight. A great fight IQ, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And the Basil fight was the same. The fight of IQ was minus because he was pulling guillotines on the guy. He was even though he was way better than the guy on the striking, he was looking to grappling exchanges, and that was the only thing that the guy has to offer. So I think it's hard to say Gilbert is over here, but I think Gilbert's go over there and dominates him. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, I think one thing.
And I don't want him like to be pressured about that. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. If I thought that he would lose, I would say because it's just a fight.
I saw a clip of you saying a teammate might lose, or
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's a hard fight for Dustin Poirier. I think it is. I think but let's talk about UFC 299.
Yeah.
I don't know why he accepted the fight because the fight to me doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier. I know UFC maybe is trying to push the guy. And let me tell you something. 5 rounds, it's not like Poirier doesn't have a chance.
Yeah.
And I think the odds are showing that, right? Plus 150 for Poirier.
Poirier is up to plus 180 now. I won't be surprised if he's a 2-1 underdog by Saturday.
Yeah, but that's not huge number, so it's not like they think Poirier is going to lose for sure. He's an underdog.
Right.
But at the same time, I just think the guy gonna take him down.
Yeah. Understood. All right,
That's what I think.
So before we get into the co-main here, I want to stick with the Jack Della because when Jack Della fought Basil, right? He was preparing for Sean Brady.
Yes.
Right? So he's preparing for a grappler.
Yes.
Sean Brady pulls out.
Yeah.
Basil comes in.
Yeah.
Basil gets
Basil is a grappler or a striker?
Grappler,
He's a
but
grappler.
he gets 3 takedowns in the fight and gave 7 minutes of control time in a 3-round fight, right? and it ended up being a split decision win. Now for Jack Della,
I thought he lose.
I bet Jack Della by decision, so I was rooting for him to win. It was a big
When you
payout.
bet,
It was
it's tough.
Well, hear me out on this because it was a bit because everyone that bet on the fight had Jack Della by knockout, right?
Yes.
I took Jack Della by decision, and it paid it was like 10-1 odds. So I was sweating that third round because
Yeah.
he was piecing him up on that third round.
Yeah.
It ends up going to the scorecards, so then I still have to sweat it out because I'm like, now did he actually win or not?
Yeah.
Right. I think he won, 29-28, gets the split decision. But this is now 2 fights in a row where he's coming off of split decision wins. Kevin Holland was a close fight. I thought he won too. I bet on Kevin Holland, and I biased. Even with me betting on Kevin Holland, I was like, Kevin Holland lost that fight.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Holland didn't really do enough there. He landed a lot of strikes, but he didn't really do enough damage on the feet. So, but now he's coming off of 2 straight split decisions, and now he's facing a guy like Gilbert. This is a whole different ball game for him.
I think so. It's going to be hard for Gilbert to talk about himself, so I will talk.
Yeah,
I will
for sure.
do his part because I would not like to talk about myself in a fight week, right?
Right.
But to be honest with you, I think sometimes the odd makers they make mistakes, especially because Gilbert is 37 years old, right? They take this in consideration for sure. You have to be honest. You have to look at that. But Gilbert is not. I don't know Gilbert that much. We are friends, but I'm not I don't know anything about him. But I think from what he shows on social media, he takes care of his health, right? He trains a lot, always training. So I don't think the age is going to be a factor on that. And he has way more grappling than JDM. JDM is a good striker, but this is an MMA fight. And now I start to realize that you look the fights, the grappling, the wrestling, and especially BJJ guys, when they get this level of wrestling and this confidence to be in here training with Dagestanis, Russians, American wrestling that long, I think he didn't talk to me, nobody talked to me about that, but I think he will look for the clinch, he will try to make him tired, and once he got to the ground, eventually he's going to get the finish or the TKO. That's my opinion. If not, will be a decision, but I think Gilbert gets him taking down 3 rounds.
I love it. Is there any past the fights that you can look at and that reminds you of this fight?
Oh, JDM's fight?
Yeah.
Stephen Thompson.
I was gonna say Wonder Boy, but I wanted him to say it.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm ruining the podcast.
But I like the Brazil fight, and I gotta see it 2 ways. I gotta see the way Renato you guys saw. Like, okay, he's supposed to fight Sean Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Brady pulled out, but then the thing that kind of intrigues me a little bit when I studied that fight was the fight with Sean Brady got canceled.
Yep.
He's supposed to fight at that weekend. They didn't find no one for him. They keep looking for him because he came all the way from Australia. And then I think for 1 week or 2 after that fight, when that fight against Sean Brady was booked at first.
Mm-hmm.
So the way I see it's kind of like it changed the opponent. It sometimes mess you up a little bit. Now he's an upcomer. Now there's a lot of pressure. I was fighting a guy that was very up in the ranks. Now I fight a newcomer. I have to beat this guy. And he's a small octagon, it was in the apex. That was the things that I give to JDM as a surprise effect to the fight, so he didn't show up the way he was going to. And I felt a little bit, okay, he fought a little bit with a lot of pressure, with that fight with Hafez, and then he tried to grapple. I think he made some bad decisions. Mm-hmm. And the way I see, I think, and I like to believe that he learned with that, that he's going to come super prepared for this fight and with less pressure, because I don't care, but the pressure is on me on that fight, right? I need to go out there and make a statement against this guy. If he wins, he's good, he's on the ranking. If he loses, he loses to me. So it's kind of like, I think the mentality that he comes to this fight is a different mentality than the one that he went against Hafez and Kevin Holland. But with that being said, I'm still gonna do everything that Moicano said. I'm gonna put a lot of pressure. I'm gonna.
There is no mystery, my brother. It's not like
we're gonna strike a little bit for sure, but
course.
I'm looking forward to close that distance, to clinch, to do like. Remember that old fight? I think that's exactly the fight that I want to say, because He didn't grapple as much, but he wrestled so hard. When Randy Couture fought Iceman,
Chuck Liddell.
Chuck Liddell, remember that fight? Remember that fight or no? You didn't get on that time.
No, I don't remember it.
Bro, he was just forward. Dirty boxing, taking him down. Dirty boxing, taking him down. Dirty. And back then, Chuck Liddell was the guy. He was knocking everyone out, but Randy Couture just like run through him like, you know, I'm not going to let you do anything. You know? So that's kind of like my mentality going to this fight.
And when we talk about like that, it's not like we don't acknowledge the guy is good. He's obvious.
very
Everybody's
good.
in UFC good.
Yeah.
Was like last time I fought Drew Dober, and I knew the guy was tough and he was strong, but I knew I was better everywhere, even on the striking. Even though he's more powerful than me, right? He could knock me out any time of the fight.
Right.
So it's not like I'm saying JDM has not a chance, but look at the records, look at the style. I think it's a disrespect with Gilbert to be plus 150, right? 150?
Matchmaker's going to come after you.
Yeah, let me
That's not the matchmaking. That's not the matchmaking.
Matchmaker's
Yeah.
going
This
to
is
come
the
after
odds
you.
maker. Odds maker.
Let me take a
the
look here.
odds-
I don't
the
think he's
odds
I don't think he's that big of a dog. He might be. Let me see. So right now Gilbert is plus 125.
125.
Plus 125. So he's
125.
not as big of a dog as Poirier.
Yeah.
He,
But still, if you throw that in a parlay,
oh,
right?
for sure.
That sounds spicy.
100%. You know what's gonna really look good is like the Gilbert round 3 or the Gilbert by submission.
Man,
And
I
you
don't like
spice it up a bit.
I
with
don't
some-
like. I just like.
You like the
straight.
money lines. You
Money
like,
line. Yeah,
You
money
can get,
line.
You can get burnt.
It's too
very
hard to
easily.
predict,
It's,
brother.
It's very hard. It's very hard. I've had some big wins doing that, but also some really bad beats when you try to get cute and pick the round, pick the method.
Yeah.
It is, but the payouts are crazy.
Unfortunately,
Like crazy
I cannot
high.
bet anymore.
Yeah.
And that's good because I was losing my house every weekend. Every
Now
weekend I was
you just Bitcoin.
yeah. But that's not like you only lose if you sell, right? So I never lose.
Yeah.
It's like betting. You just lose if you stop betting. So
Yeah.
but actually now I can't. So but I love betting. If you can bet, do it. Do it. I strongly advise you to throw your money on sport betting.
We're looking for a betting sponsor. So if you guys want to sponsor the pod,
Yeah.
we'll give out the picks here. All right. So I got to ask you, I'm going to go back to this prelim fight because we didn't talk too much about it. And then we'll go through the full main card here. But Curtis Blaydes versus Almeida. Almeida was a 2-1 favorite in this fight, or a near 2-1 favorite. He goes out there. He can't get Derek Lewis out of there, right? Really has a ton of success the whole fight. Has Lewis on his back pretty much half the fight. But he can't get him out of there. And then odds makers pretty much make this fight a coin toss. Like Curtis Blaydes is a small favorite. It's pretty much a coin toss, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think holds the edge here in grappling, and who do you think is going to win this fight?
I was there in Brazil when Almeida fought Derek Lewis, and Derek is, I don't want to say it, but he's huge. The guy's a freaking monster.
Yeah.
And I remember Almeida was on mount position. He's on a full mount, but his knee was out of the ground. And freaking Derek Lewis' head was just like, bro, that big. So the guy couldn't get a submission. And then even the ground and pound, he was trying to punch. Every time that he was kind of going down to punch, Derek Lewis just did this on his hand. And he wouldn't let him go because his gripper, his hand must be so big that he was gripping. So I think people kind of disrespect him a little bit because he didn't finish Derek Lewis, but Derek Lewis is not that easy to finish. I still think Almeida gonna get the win. I think he gonna find a way to grappling between the wrestling, because sometimes we're facing, like me as a grappler, sometimes we face a wrestler. It's gonna be very hard to take him down. But if you kind of pull guard, we jump on the back, we can do something to get in a better position. And I think he's just too fast for that division. And I think Curtis Blaydes, if he gets on top with the full guard, is going to be a hard night for Almeida. But if Almeida gets to have guard, transition to the back, get on top, I think he's gonna be able to get a submission finish. That's what I'm looking for. I think Almeida maybe by decision, maybe by submission.
I was surprised because looking up Curtis's stats, like nobody really tries to take him down, but he does have a 33% takedown defense. So he has been taken down in the UFC.
Who take him down?
That's what I'm looking at now. It was probably years ago. It looks like Cody East back in 2016. No one really tries to take him down, right?
But whoever tries.
But Almeida's going to try.
For
Almeida's
sure.
definitely going to try. I agree. He's going to be faster. He's going to be quicker. Like, I actually think Curtis Blaydes is the better striking on the feet. But I think Almeida's going to be able to get takedowns here, and I think control time.
My problem with that, we don't even know how good is Almeida on the striking.
Yeah.
I didn't see one fight he trying to strike. One.
Damian Maia style.
Yeah.
Taking down.
Of course, because he's very good at what he does. But imagine if he cannot take Blaydes down.
Yeah.
And I was talking that about yesterday because it was a very good point that Gilbert said. Because I was watching yesterday couple fights of Almeida, and like when he got on the top of Danilo Marques, he passed guard and he was ground and pound. On the other Russian guy, the guy give the back, but it's almost impossible to do that with Derek Lewis because he was just rolling. He was just rolling.
He's so big.
He's so big. He was just rolling, and Almeida was just trying to be on the top. So that's very hard.
Right.
But my problem with the fight is I don't know if Almeida can take Curtis Blaydes down. I don't know. So sometimes jiu-jitsu guys have a tough time to deal with wrestler, like Damian Maia and Tyron Woodley. I don't say it's the same, but the guys that he taken down before was not grapplers.
Yeah.
He didn't face a grappler on the heavyweight yet.
Yeah.
Do you think he's gonna be able to take him down?
I think he will be. I don't.
so,
I think he's gonna have to shoot a lot of volume. Like I don't think he's gonna just get takedown like instantly.
Yeah.
But I think if he gets his like, if he's like Marab and he just keeps getting after it, keep shooting, I think that's his best path to victory is shoot as many times as it takes, win this fight by just getting control, maybe like a 29-28. Yeah. I don't think he's gonna want to stand and strike with him. That's just my prediction. I mean, let's not forget Curtis Blaydes got finished by Derek Lewis in the third round. I mean, he was dominant in that fight, and then. Derek Lewis got him with that crazy uppercut when he was coming in. But, so we can't sit here and be like, oh, he wasn't able to get Derek Lewis out of there when Curtis Blaydes literally lost to Derek Lewis. So I just think
it's too different. It's
I
too
know.
different. If you see who Curtis Blaydes lost, he lost to Francis Ngannou, heavy hand. He lost to Derek Lewis, heavy hand. He lost to the white guy, Pavlovich. Yeah. All heavy-handed guy.
No.
Pavlovich.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, in the first round. Yeah,
in the first round.
Yeah.
So I think the way to beat Curtis Blaydes is by knocking him out. But I don't know how good is Almeida on the strike. I'm not saying he's good or he's bad. Yeah. I'm saying we didn't see. He shoot right away in every fight.
So official pick for that fight. We going with Lewis or Almeida?
I'm going with Blaydes.
I'm gonna go Almeida.
I'm going Almeida. Yeah.
All right.
I hope Almeida wins.
Yeah.
Because if he beat Curtis Blaydes, he's the heavyweight champion, in my opinion. If he can out-wrestle a wrestler in the heavyweight, because let's be honest, heavyweights, if you have a little bit of wrestling and grappling, you're going to be champion, right?
Tom Aspinall, no one has beaten him.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. So
Yeah.
I think
If
that
Almeida pass easy that test, that's my only question. If Almeida make that test good,
I
beats-
personally
yeah,
think that
I
Tom
believe.
Aspinall is like pound for pound top 3 in the entire UFC. Like I think he has no weaknesses. His jiu-jitsu on the ground is really slick for a big guy. He can get takedowns.
Very
his
good.
striking and his power on the feet, unbelievable. I was probably the only person on the planet that had Aspinall against Pavlovich. And so I had a 2-leg parlay. I hit the first leg. This was a huge payout. The second leg was what was it now? I got to go back and look because I'll never forget this. I put it on my Instagram and I asked my audience, I was like, should I hedge out of this? Everyone was like, Pavlovich is going to win. You're crazy. This is one of my proudest moments because as many losing bets as I've had, this is one of those fights where like the favorite is like the underdog to the public. Does that make sense? Like one of those fights where Aspinall was a small favorite against Pavlovich, but everybody was pretty much had the underdog as the favorite in Pavlovich. Everyone was like, Pavlovich is definitely winning this fight. He is a monster. But no, I just think Tom Aspinall is really good. So
let me ask you something. I know you didn't ask that, and the podcast is not about that today. But who you have you winning, Topuria or Volkanovski?
So I bet the fight not to go the distance.
Okay.
So I won that bet. It was a violence bet. Someone's getting finished. I didn't bet on either side. I had this weird feeling in my gut to stay away from betting Volkanovski.
Why you didn't? I gave.
I wanted to bet. I didn't.
Topuria was at the gym.
Yeah, I saw
piecing everybody
I
up.
saw your clip on
I
that.
saw
And
your
then
clip.
I
there.
even told Michael Bisping before. I gave an interview to Michael Bisping before. I said Topuria is going to win. Like,
Yeah.
And I feel bad to say that because I like Volk. I like his dad. He's a great guy. He always talk with my kids. Nice guy. But Topuria is a monster, bro. I like when I look that guy's point. I said, man, that guy hits so hard. Boom, dropping those guys with the big gloves
So how long ago was that when Topuria
Wait.
fought your teammates?
was a little bit.
Josh Emmett.
Was the beginning of Josh Emmett camp. He didn't finish the camp here, but he will stay here for like a month or so.
Yeah.
And then I saw him Tuesday, like knocking those guys out. And I'm like, oh my God, the guy's good. But let's say he talk about his grappling. Let's see. Next day was a wrestling. And bro, we get a couple of Chechenian, Dagestani guys. He was taking those guys down and finishing. I'm like, oh my God, the guy is solid, like a strong dude with a great cardio. I look, see, man, that guy can become a champion.
Yeah. Well, when I saw him take Bryce Mitchell to the ground and just manhandle him and then submit him, that's when I was like, oh shit.
before-
And higher route
But
too.
on
Ryan
the-
Hall too.
Yeah.
Ryan Hall
Even
too.
before that, on the feet, he was piecing him up.
Right.
The
Well, I
feet
knew
would
that
go
happened on the
down.
feet, but I was like, because I actually liked Bryce Mitchell in that fight as an underdog. That was like, I think that was Topuria's like coming out party. We were like, oh, he's really good. But going into that fight, I was like, I think Bryce Mitchell can get the takedowns and can do enough to win the decision. So I actually bet on Bryce Mitchell by a dog, and it was the dumbest bet ever. But yeah, that's when I realized how good Topuria is. So. All right, let's move on. This is honestly another really exciting fight on the card. I mean, every single fight is, but Petr Yan taking on Sonya Dawn. I'm a big Sonya Dawn fan. Petr Yan, dude, I want to ask you, is he the best fighter ever to go on a 1-4 stretch? Like, this guy is 1-4 in his last
The
five.
referees are screwing him. That's the truth. He didn't lose to Sugar Sharma.
Yeah, but he lost to Merab.
He lost to Merab.
And he lost to Aljamain. The second one, not the first one.
Yep.
It was
The
a
sec-
split decision.
The second
Split.
one here, he
Split.
won.
Yeah, but it was a tough fight to judge. But
Aljamain
100%. That's why sometimes one fight can change your career for good.
100%.
That fight changed his career. The first one that he was
Yes.
winning, and he threw that knee,
Yeah.
that changed his whole life. Yeah.
Yeah, so Petr Yan, he throws the DQ, he throws the knee in the DQ loss to Aljo. Then he goes out, gets an impressive win against Corey Sandhagen. That was a unanimous 5-round decision. Then he loses the split decision to Aljo. I'll never forget, I was at that fight, and I had Aljo, and I was sweating like crazy because it could have went either way. That was a split decision loss against Aljo. Then a split decision loss against Sean O'Malley. I think Petr Yan won 2 rounds to 1 in that. I don't know what you guys think, but that was a very close fight. He gets the split decision loss. And then Merab was the one fight out of those 5 that you're like, okay, he definitely
really lost.
definitely lost that fight. But this is a really interesting fight because this is another fight where odds makers have as a very close pick 'em. Petr Yan's a small favorite at -120. Who do you give the edge to in this matchup?
I'm such a big fan of both. I like
I am
Sonya
too,
Dong
man.
very much. And
He trains with you? No.
No. And Petr Yan feels so bad that he's keep that losing streak that I want Petr Yan to win. I think he will, but that guy's a freaking monster on the beginning.
Saunas?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a beast. He's so fast. He hits so hard.
Yeah.
But I got Petr Yan winning that fight by decision.
He lost to Marlon Vera, right?
He
Sonya Dawn.
beat Marlon Vera back in 2020.
Who he lost?
Unanimous decision. He lost to Kyler Phillips and Corey Sandhagen.
Kyler Phillips.
Which those
Yeah.
are not bad losses.
No, not at all.
But then he beat Ricky Simone. That is one of my favorite sports betting wins ever. I had Sonya Dawn round 5 knockout, 30-1 odds against Ricky Simone. He knocks him out in round 5. It's a big win for me. And then his next fight against Chris Gutierrez, he wins by decision. Which Gutierrez is a pretty durable guy. Who are you going with?
I'm going to Petr Yan, but I'll be completely honest with you. I don't know much about Song Yadong. I don't even remember his fights.
Oh, he's fast.
Oh yeah, you
I
gotta
don't
check
even
it out.
remember. I think
Faber.
I remember when he fought Marlon Moraes, and Marlon Moraes is one of my good friends. So after that, I just hate the guy, right? Because he beat the guy, and I don't want to watch his fights. So I don't really remember. So I don't really remember.
All right, so you guys are both going with Petr Yan.
I'm going with Petr Yan because I think he is one of the best 135s ever, especially on boxing. I think that fight, I don't know much about Song Yadong, but I know he's a striker, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I don't remember he trying takedowns, but
He has wrestling.
He got wrestling.
I'm pretty sure he has some good wrestling. He's pretty well rounded.
But Petr is a guy that is tough to take down too, right? Merab couldn't like right away. He shot 50 times.
Yeah, he shot a ton of volume, ton of takedowns.
A ton of volume. Merab is just a machine, but
Yeah.
I think if you are a striker and you try to beat Petr on boxing and striking, you're gonna be in trouble. He's one of the best strikers in UFC, in my opinion. So I'm going with Petr, but I don't know much about Song Yadong.
Yeah. I'm going to go on an island here. I'm going to pick Song Yadong. I have to go with him. I just think that Petr Yan is so unlucky in these close fights, and I see this being a super close fight. So I'm going to roll with the underdog here. I'm going to say Song Yadong, 29-28 decision win. Let's move on here to a really fun fight on the card. We got Kevin Holland versus MVP. What do you guys know about MVP? 17-2 in Bellator. I've heard some stories about how good this guy is in sparring. Have you guys ever sparred with him, or do you have teammates or friends that have sparred with him? Any stories on him?
I have a guy that one of my friends fought him, Logan Storley. I know he has his grandpas. I think they live here in Boca, so he come here, saw him here a couple of times. Never trained him. I want to train him, but especially when I was fighting Wonder Boy, there was a guy that I kind of look a lot of Wonder Boy fights, and I watch his fights too. Mm-hmm. I just think he's that good. He's still not crazy competition in Bellator, but he fought Douglas Lima. He fought a couple of tough guys. He fought Mike Perry in a bare knuckle. I think he's gonna win. I remember I saw Kevin Holland against. I said that to Morgan yesterday. I watched Kevin Holland against Wonder Boy in Orlando, and Wonder Boy did very good against him. I think MVP is a better version, newer, hits harder, quicker. I think MVP gonna beat Kevin Holland, and I don't know what round, but you guys can put a couple sprinkles live. You guys bet in a finish. I think he's gonna be able to finish Kevin Holland.
Is Kevin Holland? Has he ever been knocked out?
He's pretty
well.
durable.
He did TKO against Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy, yeah.
But he's pretty durable though overall. He's got a good chin. I mean, he can get Hamzat submitted him. He can get submitted, but he's pretty durable overall. It's only a 3-round fight, right? So I think it's going to be a close one on the scorecards. You know, it's tough. But the question is, do you think Kevin Holland will grapple? He won't do it.
Don't you remember when he fought? He was saying when he fought Wonder Boy fell and he give the hand. Hey, get back to the feet.
But he changed it after the third round. He was trying to take him down.
Yeah, it got to a point where he's like, I have to now.
But he doesn't have wrestling, brother. He's going to strike, and that's what I like about UFC. Like very good matchups like that. Kevin Holland and MVP. Most of the fans, the hardcore fans, they know about the fight. The public in general don't know, but that's going to be just a fun fight to watch.
Shout out to the matchmaker.
Shout out to the matchmaker.
Yeah. It really is a good one.
That's a great fight, and I think it's in a good place on the card too, right? Main event should be in the main event. So this is just like Bobby Green and Jim Miller on UFC 300. I think it's a similar matchup. It's not going to change any rankings. It's not going to do nothing, but it's going to be a good fight to watch in a good place on the card.
Yeah.
And I have Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland?
Yeah. I think Kevin Holland will beat MVP.
Oh, man, this is a really tough fight for me. See, here's the thing. I would bet Kevin Holland instantly if I knew he was just going to at least mix in the wrestling and grappling. But if he's just going to stand for 3 rounds, it's like I have to go with MVP as a dog.
Yeah.
It's really tough. Against my better judgment, I'm going to go with Kevin Holland just because he's fought a lot of high-quality guys in the UFC.
185.
And I feel like he's, at a certain point, he has to understand how important it is for him to win. Yeah. Like, he wants to put on all these shows, but like...
one thing I can tell you, he makes a lot of money.
But you think he cares?
I mean, he has on the podium been like, hey...
Man, he makes more money makes more money than some champions.
Yeah,
he makes huge money, especially on that we have the same manager. Yeah. So I saw and it's a lot of money, my brother. So that's why he doesn't care, my brother. Really, I'm telling you, the motherfucker makes money. So do you think if I made the same money, I wouldn't care too? Fuck, just like my fight and fuck, right? So I don't think he gives a shit, but I think he faced the better competition, like you say. MVP to me is still unproved, and is still unproved.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that because, like he said, he fought Douglas Lima, and he fought Logan Story is very good. He beat Amazov, one of the best grapplers in the gym. I could not believe. So, good, but first fight in UFC, Kevin Holland is the matchup for him.
Yeah.
But I have Kevin Holland.
Who's the scariest fight in out of any organization, any weight class for you? The scariest fighter you could ever face?
Man, you know what? A guy that I was scared to fight, and I told him that after the fight, Drew Dober, because I remember when I was 145, and I was supposed to fight Brian Ortega or somebody, and I saw he was in the same locker room, punching like crazy, and I say, man, I'm glad I'm not a 55. I'm glad I'm 45, and I'm not gonna fight guys like that.
Yeah.
But eventually, I fought him. So at that time, but it's always like that. I thought Jeremy Stephens was scared back in the day too. Guys like with power that can knock you out. I think that's the most scared, even most scared than grapplers, right?
Yeah.
But the grappler usually they get the job done. But if the guy has power and has, but let me think about somebody. Maybe Derek Lewis, right? Maybe Derek Lewis is a scared guy to fight on a heavyweight, even though, like I say, if you have good grappling, you can neutralize him. But if you try to strike against Derek Lewis, you're going to be dead. Right?
How much would you have? How much would the UFC have to pay you to fight?
Not much, not that much, not that much. I would fight him 100% for a lot of money. If they say 2 million, I fight him to death. 100%. 100%.
How much?
2 million, I'm okay.
Do you want to fight?
Maybe 1.5 million, $1 million, I would do it. I'm in this shit for money, my brother. I have no doubt about that. I would fight anybody. Francis Ngannou, you know. Maybe they can kill you, but if they don't kill you, you have money, so that's okay. Right?
I love it. All right. We go to the next fight. We've already talked on Gilbert's fight, so we'll go right to the co-main here. Dustin Poirier versus Benoit Saint-Denis. Oh, man. I'm not going to lie. I bet against Benoit in his last fight, only because I thought Matt Frevola had like a puncher's chance. He was coming off the knockout win over Drew Dober. And I like Matt Frevola. He's solid. You know, I thought he had a chance against Benoit. And honestly, the first minute or two, oh my God, incredible pace, wrestling, grappling exchanges, striking. Next thing you know, Benoit catches him with a head kick. Now, it's important to note, Dustin Poirier is coming off of a head kick knockout loss against Justin Gaethje, which honestly, I feel like that's the only way you really knock out Dustin Poirier, right? Because it's hard to knock out Dustin Poirier with punches. Like he eats these punches.
Michael Johnson did, but
that was a long time ago. But Gaethje finds that head kick. I mean, I watched that fight over and over again. Poirier even had his hand up, caught him like right in the back, like the ear and head, right past where he tried to block it. I don't think anyone was surviving that kick. Like, you know, so Dustin goes down. That was...
He doesn't do high kicks, so that was...
Yeah.
That was July 29th. So he's taken, 7-8 months to recover from that fight. Who do you guys like here?
You have to go with the odds on this one. BSD, he is good. But you're talking about Matt Frevola, and I had the same feeling that Matt Frevola could beat him because Matt Frevola, he is strong. He has knockout power. And for me, Benoit Saint-Denis, sometimes he risks too much. You remember when he fought Thiago Moises and even the other Brazilian guy, he goes forward, even though he was beating the guy the whole round, getting takedowns, he was like on the pocket. And Thiago Moises got him on the first round. So I thought the same. Frevola can stop the takedowns, and if you look the fight, Frevola took him down 2 times.
Right.
But Dustin Poirier is not taking him down.
I think Benoit even said though, like he doesn't care. He'll let you take him down because he's even said he's really comfortable off his back.
Wait to fight me and you're going to see, my brother. If I take you down, I'm gonna get your back and finish you. Because these guys, they don't have jiu-jitsu. And
you don't think Benoit is jiu-jitsu?
No, I mean the guys Frevola, let's say.
Yeah.
Because he was on the top and he was playing like butterfly guard and he get up with that. It's not gonna be easy if you have a good jiu-jitsu guy on top of you to get away with that. You're going to stay the whole round on the back, or you're gonna give your back and I'm gonna get your back, right? So don't be comfortable. You have to start different takedowns if you want to fight the best. Or even Tsarukyan, right? If Tsarukyan take him down, he's gonna get his back. Mateus, these guys, if they have good grappling, don't be comfortable on your back. Because even guys like Bourne, right? You don't be comfortable on your back, even though you are world champion, right?
Just they gotta earn that. If they do take me down, okay, then
of course.
But I'm gonna try to submit. If I cannot, then I'm gonna try to get up, and
of course
I'm not gonna stay on bottom.
No, and he's saying, no, I'm comfortable playing guard. Okay, let's wait and see. That's not gonna happen on this fight because obviously Poirier is a striker. He not take you down. But if you are comfortable,
you don't think Dustin gonna try to take him down?
No,
I don't think so.
You hurt nothing.
I don't think so. I honestly think Dustin's going to be in and out, trying to piece him up, trying to wear him down, and then get like a late, like 3, 4, 5 TKO.
Even you watch a lot of training, but I think a high kick knockout changes you.
Yeah.
Whenever he's gonna be there again, because you always have a little deja vu from your last fight, right? When you walk, you always see a little bit. So when you're there, last time he got knocked out bad. So I think if he gets to a point that he's getting hurt something, I think he's gonna grapple.
That's a good point.
I just have a thought that he's gonna grapple. That guy coming too strong, 5 rounds. If he comes too crazy, try to be on the pocket, I'm gonna try to be on the pocket. But if he hits something good, takedown's gonna be right there. The guy said he's gonna accept. I just think he's gonna take him down.
But there. Let's say I didn't watch the trainings and all, but when was I'm sorry for my English, I'm trying my best here. But when was the last time Dustin Poirier took somebody down?
I think the Chandler fight.
But Chandler took him down and he reversed.
Chandler had 3 takedowns. Poirier in the Connor fight, 2021.
He took Connor down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Dustin's a black belt, right?
Yeah.
But he's one of those things like in the Chandler fight. Like Chandler picked him up, took him down, but Dustin was super good in those scrambles.
Yeah.
Right?
Michael tried to take his back in Michael's lip, and then Dustin got on top.
Yeah.
And he on top, he dominated and got a finish.
Yeah.
Hey, how good is Michael Chandler on the grappling?
He's kind of like Drew Dober. He's slippery.
He's slippery. Defends well. Small guy.
He did the same escape that he does. That he gets on top when you go to his back.
But technically, he's not the best, right?
No. But good wrestler.
Good wrestler. Yeah.
He can grapple a little bit, but more ground and pound and more control. You know?
Yeah. And do you think the fight is going to happen? He
in Connor?
I
don't know.
I don't think it is.
I don't know.
I honestly,
man, I'm feeling sad for Michael Chandler. I'll be honest with you, brother.
It is sick.
I'm sad to you that you have to do all that shit for nothing, my brother.
But if you're in his position, what are you gonna do? You gotta wait, right? That big bag. You gotta wait for the big bag.
If I was in his position, you mean? Yeah. Man, I would not do the same that he's doing, brother. He's like begging for the fight. I know it's an important fight. I know it's a fight that can change you. But I think Conor is playing with him, if you know what I mean, right?
I mean,
But what you do?
Definitely, I would not do the same. Conor McGregor, blah, 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 blah. Man, I don't know. I would not wait that. You know why? Because he's not that young. He's not that young.
Waiting for the
but
bag.
That's why he's waiting for the big fight, right? Because at the end of the day,
did you see Donald Cerrone saying he got $200K to fight Conor?
But that was so dumb.
Yeah, but that's.
And then he was saying like on his motorway.
Who's his management?
Oh, they
bro?
gave. Yeah, he messed up bad, and then he keeps saying, as he did great. Oh, you want to fight Conor? Yes. yes, I want to fight Conor,
Yeah,
but
new contract, right?
yeah,
On
we're
the
gonna
money.
talk about it. I'm saying yes, but let's talk about it. I think he messed
Yeah.
up big time, and he's still like honor, like yeah, they just offered me the fight, and I say yes, and I'm like, man, how dumb are you? Like,
Yeah.
That's the
I'm a
definition.
fan, but
of
like that
fumbling
was
the
very
bag.
dumb. That was for sure 2 million guaranteed to fight Conor. Why you didn't ask for it? You?
Yeah.
I don't even like to think about it.
Yeah.
Dustin Poirier never lost 2 fights in a row.
Who you picking after you say that?
I want to ask you before I give you why I'm picking. Is that important to you guys? A guy that's
Yeah.
been around so long, never
For
lost
sure.
2 fights in a row.
For sure.
Do you look at that as a reason why you would take him, or is it more like, hey, he's
No.
on the back end of his career?
No, this I think is superstition, my brother. Everything can
And,
happen.
and
Yeah.
what I think too in this fight is we have this guy coming here, a dog, right? We need to give him a ranked opponent. Dustin doesn't have a fight, and they seen the other page too. The way I think is how much Saint-Denis making right now. How much you think? Not much, right? 5 fight in the UFC, maybe 6 fight in the UFC. Not
80K.
much.
How much do you think?
80K?
Around maybe that's shooting high. That's
Okay.
the most.
How
he's
much did you
making.
say?
I said 80, but I don't
80?
know.
That's the
Yeah, I don't
most,
think he's making 80.
I
I'm
don't
just
think he's
guessing.
making. I think he's around that.
Yeah.
70, 60 something, 80, and Dustin's making a bag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know that fight, Dustin's very expensive for the UFC.
Yeah.
You know, so they put in that guy because if the guy beats him, he's a little bit cheaper. The
Yeah.
UFC. He's,
Yeah, of course.
you know, but
Yeah.
Dustin's so expensive, so I think they try to change that. You know, same thing with my fight and Jack. You know, they try
Right.
to change that.
100%.
Well, it's like you and Dustin are in similar
And me and
positions.
Dustin, I
Yeah.
never lost 2 in a row.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not planning on doing it. So and I know Dustin not planning on doing it too. So
I'm feeling a Dustin Poirier and Gilbert Burns money line parlay here.
Yeah.
Take both
Yeah.
the dogs,
Like that.
bro. Both the
And-
dogs to get it done.
Yeah.
for sure, and
I like that.
I like Dustin on this fight. You know, I like the French guy too. But sometimes I just think this guy's too emotional.
Too
to fight
emotional.
Dustin. He go crazy.
Yeah.
And I think if Dustin can wear the storm a little bit,
Yeah.
maybe get hurt on the first, but not finish. He recompose, get to the second round, start good, maybe lose the second round again, and then the dog is gonna be out of the dog is gonna come, win the third round, win the fourth round, maybe getting a finish on the 5th round. I think that's gonna be the fight.
Well, if you look at the Michael Chandler fight, there's not a lot of fighters that survived that onslaught Chandler put on Dustin Poirier, like the last 2 minutes of round 1, and then the last 15 seconds of round 1. Dustin he goes from almost
almost
getting
finished.
finished to almost finishing Chandler. Chandler gets saved by the bell. Then round 2,
Chandler
Chandler
took him
comes
down.
and just
I
picks him
remember that
up,
fight.
dude. That
And
was an
he's-
unbelievable fight. And then Dustin, I think, got the round 3 submission.
Yeah.
But
But Chandler took him down the last round.
Right.
And tried to jump on his back, and then he slips, and then he finishes on
Yeah.
bottom, and then he give up his back.
yeah,
And that's the best finish. Even Chandler's my guy, but Dustin got out of the back, took his back and finished him. So that's the best way to win a fight.
yeah. I'm going Dustin Poirier.
I knew it.
I'm going Dustin
Who
Poirier.
you go? You go French, right?
Yeah. BSD.
Who's your
But
official?
he likes the plus
Who's
money.
your
I-
official pick? Yeah, like you gotta understand. There's fighting picks and then there's betting picks, right?
Yes.
If you're just picking a guy to win, it's tough for me. It's close. But if you're looking at the betting odds, I'm definitely taking the plus money
Yeah,
there. Plus
he's a good
170,
underdog.
No,
True.
I'm not looking at no betting. I'm
Yeah.
looking
Yeah.
at Dustin Poirier, MVP. I don't bet, so that's my pick
Yeah.
parlay. It's not my betting.
So
But I would do Petr Yan, MVP. Who's that? Dustin. I'll go Gilbert Burns, Dustin Poirier, and Sean O'Malley. That's my pick.
That's a
parlay.
parlay right there.
Yeah.
I love that. All right, so you're going BSD. We're gonna go with Dustin Poirier. Let's go to the main event, the Sugar Sean O'Malley show, taking on Marlon Chito Vera. This fight has a good story to it, right? Because it is pretty crazy that Chito, after getting dominated for 5 rounds by Corey Sandhagen, after that fight he wins a close decision, And then now he is at the title fight, right? Corey Sandhagen is like sitting on the sideline right now, like
Punching the.
he's got to be pissed because honestly, Sandhagen versus Sean O'Malley is an interesting fight.
Like
Like
gonna fight freaking Umar maybe. Right?
Yeah.
exactly,
Right?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
he should be waiting for a title shot if I were him. But anyways, what do you guys? How do you guys like in this? Who do you like in this fight? Because Sean O'Malley's almost a 3-1 favorite here, which I think the odds are kind of wide. I think styles make matchups, right? I think anytime Chito is fighting someone that's not going to take him down, I think he's live to win. I really do.
Yeah.
Chito has the 5-round experience. He's as durable as it gets. I'm going to say it right now. I don't think Sean O'Malley's finishing him. I think Sean could win by decision or Chito could find a finish. I think either two options are on the table here. My gut tells me Sean's going to win a decision. I think he's going to win like a...
Sean?
I think Sean's going to win like 3 rounds to 2 maybe. But I could see Chito getting a finish though. I just don't see Cheeto so durable, bro. I don't see him making the mistake I don't think he's going to make the mistake that Aljo did and get caught.
Yeah, but Sean is so fast.
Yeah.
Chito is slow.
Chito is slow.
Chito is stationary. Every time he fights somebody that moves,
And Sean has a missile, and now he's getting more confident.
Exactly.
And he's precise. I'm not gonna lie, I'm picking Sean by decision, but you do the little sprinkles, right? I think you should sprinkle a little finish on the third, maybe second round, because that missile came, bro. The guy's super
Yeah.
precise. I got Sean O'Malley winning.
and
that
now
fight.
he's too big to lose, like they say. I think UFC
But
likes him.
he picks the fight. Like,
Yeah.
that fight just happened because of Chito Vera, to
Yeah.
be honest. That
Yeah.
fight just happened because Chito lost to Corey Sandhagen, and he's not a guy that's going to wait so much to fight again. He just got back and, I want to fight again. Then he got a win. That's why this fight is happening. But Sean is like, I lost to that guy. I think on his mind, I got hurt. We gotta settle that. And let's
I think
settle
he
that.
was just avoiding Merab, right?
I don't think so. I think both. I think two things. He got two things at once. Like, I don't want to fight Merab right now. And
But we have to
let me
agree.
settle the score against this
We
guy.
have to agree. So I think everybody thinks Sean O'Malley is going to beat Chito
I think so.
on this table.
I think
but
so.
who thinks he's going to beat Merab Dvalishvili?
Merab get hit. That's the only thing.
So I think Sean could.
Imagine he does the same thing that he did this tournament.
Merab get hit, bro.
Fuck Sean O'Malley if he does
Merab
that.
get hit a lot.
Yeah.
Couple of fights I saw Merab going forward crazy.
Yeah.
Sean,
Yeah.
freaking precise.
Precise, good.
But yeah, that's a tough one.
Yeah, I'm picking Sean to win by decision.
You choose
I
Sean
think
by decision.
I could see it being.
But I can see he finished Chito Vera, in my opinion.
can see Chito.
Because like you saying, people are looking and saying, he lost to Chito Vera. But when he become champion and the way he did, I think his confidence is over the roof.
Yeah, and he got better. He
got better.
He keep getting better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just a funny looking dude, right?
Yeah, but he can fight.
But he can fight.
He can fight.
But it's just funny to watch you see him and say, man, no way this motherfucker is a champion. But he is, and he's good.
Yeah.
And I think he's going to beat Chito Vera.
I think so too.
All right, we're all going with Sean O'Malley in the main event.
What's your parlay?
My parlay, I'm gonna go Sean O'Malley by decision. I'm gonna go Dustin Poirier
Money line,
money line because I think it could be a TKO or a decision.
not a sub.
I'm gonna go not a sub. I'm gonna go Gilbert money line in case it goes
What's the money line?
just you to win.
Okay.
Yeah, just you to win. So if you win a decision,
Not a degenerate
bet. See, I
gambler.
don't
Not a
bet.
degenerate gambler.
and then I'm gonna go.
I don't know. I don't gamble.
And then I'm gonna go. I'm skipping the Kevin Holland fight. I'm gonna go Sonya Dawn money line,
you should.
and I'm gonna go Almeida by decision.
Oh, your parlay is gonna be that huge? Yeah. I don't put the Almeida on my pick parlay. It's gonna be Petr, Young, MVP, me, Dustin, and Sean.
I like it. What's your parlay?
Let me see the whole
He
card.
just wants money. He don't get 3. It's gonna be only 3. Can be only 3, but
Let me see the whole card. You have the whole card here. So, I think Sean O'Malley is going to win. for sure. Gilbert Burns in
Sure, you're right here.
That's a good one.
There.
oh yeah.
You got
Almost
RDA,
fight.
Mateus Gamrot.
Yeah, man, you guys should talk about this fight. I don't know what these guys are smoking, my brother, but this, did you see this guy? 4-0, the Taekwondo guy from Cuba,
Yeah.
with no fucking hands, no hands.
He's
They say
all
this guy's
knockout
crazy.
wins, though.
They say this guy's crazy.
He is fucking crazy. Look at his face, my brother. 4-0, no hands, Taekwondo guy, but this other guy, zero boxing, brother. It's unbelievable, this fight. I want to watch that fight so bad.
So what should I bet on?
The first
What
fight.
should I bet?
Who you bet on that fight?
No, I'm not betting on the fight because because you can't. I was looking the record of this guy.
Shout out to
4-0.
the matchmaker on this
4-0.
one, or no?
No. Let me tell you something. They are trying to build a new Romero, Taekwondo Romero, 35 years old, first fight in UFC, 4-0, only fought guys with no fights.
He's a minus 340 favorite against Josh Parisian.
But Josh Parisian sucks, absolutely sucks, my brother. Terrible. Terrible. Try to watch the fight. And you know what's funny? Man, he's very bad. And he has one submission by triangle, my brother. Then I watch that fight. If you are watching this podcast, I think the fight that you have to watch is Parisian. Put on YouTube, triangle, and you're going to see high level MMA stuff. But
Well, who's your parlay? What's your parlay?
no, my parlay is Sean O'Malley, Gilbert Burns, Petr Yan, and another fight that you guys didn't talk, and I think he's a considerable underdog, is Rafael dos Anjos. I think he's a huge underdog on the fight.
But you think he can beat the guy? The guy's very good. No?
Man, he's one of my friends. He's one of my best training partners. I train with him all the time.
I grappled with him a couple of times.
He's very good, but that's not gonna be an easy fight for him.
No, not. He
I
thinks
fought
it's gonna be
fought him.
But he
and
thinks it's gonna be easy.
I don't know him, but the odds think it's going to
Yeah,
be
so
easy.
Gamrot's
The
a
odds. I'm talking about the odds here, my brother. I'm not talking him.
Gamrot's a minus 430 favorite and RDA 's
430
plus 300.
favorite against Rafael de Los Anjos is crazy. He is crazy.
What do you think?
I think Gamrot. I like Rafael is my friend. I grapple both guys a lot.
Yeah.
But the level of grappling that Mateus got is better.
Do you think is better?
I grapple both guys.
Yeah.
Many times
Me too.
I did
Unfortunately,
a lot of-
I was getting beat.
I never spar with Mateus,
Mateus.
but I spar with Rafael a couple of times. I think Rafael is very good. I think Mateus just a little quicker, a little,
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna finish.
No, I'm not
But
saying.
I think he's gonna be able to take Rafa down. I think he's gonna be able to grapple.
But we have to see if he will be able to control. He was having trouble to control Jalen Turner. And Jalen Turner is a easier fight than Rafael dos Anjos, in my opinion.
But it's just the style, Jalen's.
Yeah,
huge,
the style. But my problem with that is minus 430 is huge.
It is.
It's like people saying he's going to win for sure. It's 4-1, right? It's crazy to me because Rafael dos Anjos is not an easy guy to control on the ground. He's a southpaw guy. So I still think because he's younger, better at takedowns. But I think Rafael dos Anjos is better at control. And
maybe.
Stronger, more experience, like a former champion. It's not an easy fight. I'm just saying that. I think Mateus will win, but again, minus 430 is crazy. People don't know shit.
Yeah.
The odds makers are crazy,
That is very wide.
right?
Yeah.
Crazy.
100%.
But that's the problem. I still think the odds should be a little bit closer, but I still think Mateus will win. So my parlay is Sean O'Malley, Gilbert Burns, Petr Yan, and I think that's
Safe parlay.
safe parlay. Yeah.
So Gilbert, Petr Yan, and Sean O'Malley. Let's see what that would pay.
It's not worth it to put Curdy Blaydes up.
$100 pays 462 in profit. Plus
So
462.
Plus 462, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Man, I think that's free money. in my
money.
opinion. Free money.
Free money. I like it.
That's fucking free money. Do you think Sean O'Malley is losing to Chito Vera not losing? I don't think he is losing, and I don't think Petr Yan losing.
He
But
thinks he put some Yadong.
Sang yeah. Petr Yan could lose.
The Song Yadong's just my guy, bro.
If you put Gilbert Burns in,
Yeah, even if you take Petr Yan out, 100's going to pay 206. Just
206.
Gilbert and Sean.
minus
Plus
206.
206. Plus 206.
That's good money too.
That's good money too. Yeah, you
But
could.
400 is better.
Yeah, I like it. You could even throw, if you want to spice it up, we could throw Dustin Poirier in there. Plus 170.
Yeah, that's a tough fight.
Yeah. What's next for you, bro? Who you
I don't
eyeing
know.
up? You don't know yet?
I don't know. I want to fight as soon as possible. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm calling out names all the time, so I don't want to be talking too much. Right now I have to fight. But Dan Hooker say he wants to fight me, but he doesn't want the smoke, my brother. That's the truth. UFC 301, he's never going to Brazil, and I know that for sure. He's afraid of the Brazilian streets, my brother. So maybe Vegas, fight week, like he said. I definitely 100% will fight him on Vegas or anybody, you know. I think Benoit has a fight. I don't know if he has a fight or not. And Paddy Pimblett, let's be honest, the fight's not happening 100%. No, Paddy needs assistance, my brother. He's fucking terrible. That's the truth. He couldn't finish a retired Tony Ferguson, and he doesn't want the smoke too.
Would you ever fight Tony Ferguson?
What?
Would you ever fight Tony Ferguson?
No. I don't want to. I like money, but not that much, my brother. I like money, but I would not kill an elder guy for money. You know, I have principles, my brother. And Paddy Pimblett does not. Paddy Pimblett does not. And he couldn't finish the job. Let's be honest, we have respect for Tony Ferguson, but Paddy Pimblett, you suck, my brother. So I'm not going to talk about you. So I really do think that I'm going to fight Dan Hooker.
I like that fight. That's a great fight.
Because he already said, so it's
Yeah.
easy to make the fight.
Yeah.
So let's go UFC. Let's make the fight happen as soon as possible.
Shout out to the matchmaker.
Shout out.
I love it.
Let's go.
All right, we'll wrap up here. Appreciate for everyone that is tuned in. Make sure you like and subscribe and stay tuned to the channel. Maybe in the future we'll be launching a show here together from the Home of Fight studio.